The college football experience, North Carolina Tar Heels 2025 season preview episode is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at underdogfantasy.com with our promo code TCESGPN. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, everybody, Joe Theismann here. You're listening to SGPN. So do this. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience, Chapel Bill edition, North Carolina Tar Heels 2025 season preview. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Kobe, you're an ECU guy. What are you doing? Well, I saw the shirt. I had to get the fucking shirt when I saw it. It's the most exciting story going on in college football this year. YouTube.com/the college experience. Jump on over there, hit that like and subscribe button because we're breaking down all 136 teams. And I think this will be one of the most anticipated episodes, I think, all year, really. So loved everything about this off season down there in Chapel Hill. And excited to talk about the new era of North Carolina Tar Heel football. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Kobe Swing It Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
He's the kind of guy that would drink a gallon of gasoline so he could piss in your campfire. You could drop this guy off at the Arctic Circle wearing a pair of bikini underwear without his toothbrush, and tomorrow afternoon he's going to show up at your poolside with $1 million smile and a fistful of pesos.
Let's go. Chapel Bill shirt on. I just talked to Chapel Bill. I'll show you that video in a little bit. Got to sit down with coach or stand up with coach, whatever the fuck you want to say. I've been waiting for a long time, Mac, for this. So, I'm talking years in the making. We'll get to it in a second. I am joined by my co-host. He is also the host of the college basketball experience. And when the season tips for college hoops, we are live every single night of the season. So you're going to want to check us out. We've been doing it for years. We're doing the same for football. Both come together as one. YouTube.com/the college experience. Give it up for former staffer at Austin P with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, and West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, aka Monetlon Mac. How are you, brother?
Let's go, baby. Yes. I've been waiting for this one too. Always been a Belichick fan. Chapel Bill. Let's talk about it. Cheers, Carolina.
Mac tonight! Come on, make it Mac tonight!
Well, it's not only that, buddy. I have been waiting for years. So I am, this show's like 8 years old, and I've been watching college football my whole life. And I've been waiting for North Carolina to throw money into football. Much like I was waiting for SMU's return to the cash era.
Yep.
And, when they went out and hired Bill Belichick this offseason, and I remember reading, the amount of money they spent first on coach, but also what he demanded of the institution. And for them to go all in on football, I think is long overdue. You're in a great area. The campus is beautiful. Now, I'm an ECU guy. I never want to see them great, but as someone that covers the sport over, from a bird's eye point of view, and seeing what's the damage that has been done in the sport by some of these institutions that have just sat back and kind of been in cruise control. That's why I think it's great to see Duke and Carolina throwing major money into football, because they should be. They're like, honestly, North Carolina should be a fucking powerhouse in football. And it's been a minute since they had some good years and stuff, but it's been a minute since they were really, really elite. So I can't wait. Let's start the slideshow. YouTube.com/the college experience. Chapel Bill going on here. Bill Belichick, he's never been a college football head coach. And there's so much drama within this episode, Mac, because he's never been a college football head coach, right? And college football head coaches traditionally are fucking horrible when they come to college football, with the exception of like Pete Carroll and June Jones. I think I'm thinking in my head right now, Lovie Smith, big time failure when he came to the Big Ten. Dave Wanstead, failure at Pitt. Chan Gailey, failure at Georgia Tech. Charlie Weiss, failure at Notre Dame. Al Groh, I guess he had one good year at Virginia. Cam Cameron at Indiana. Like normally, Bill Callahan at Nebraska. Like these NFL guys, normally it is a tough thing to jump into the college game because the game is vastly different. And I was at ACC Media Days, and Belichick and Bill O'Brien were both asked questions that were similar. They're like, there's some comparisons, but it's not. They're kind of almost like different sports in many ways. Just because like there's a draft, but also there's so many different schemes in college than there is in pro. The pro coaches normally suck when they come down to college. Bill Walsh, I consider him a college coach first. So when he came back to Stanford, it worked out. But this is an interesting one because unlike Lovie Smith or Wanstead or some of those other ones I named, they weren't raised by a college football coach. Bill Belichick was raised by a coach that his dad was a college football coach his whole career.
Yep.
So where are you at with if because I think a lot of people are saying this isn't going to work out. I hate the lazy take of it was more Brady than Belichick. Like they're just forgetting that the New York Giants Super Bowls with Belichick, they were not an offense. They were not a good offensive team. They were a great defensive team. All right. Where are you at with Coach? Well,
and the Patriots Super Bowls, the first 3 Super Bowls were all their defense. Brady was a role player on those teams. So yeah, that's a beyond lazy take. Belichick, one of the greatest, actually probably the greatest defensive mind in the history of the game. I love the hire outside the box. And like you said, it's different just because he's coming from the NFL. But being raised by his old man that was around the college game for so much. And I know the other guys have not worked out, but Belichick is such a football junkie compared to like a Lovie Smith or other guys. Like this guy lives, breathes football. That's all he knows. I know he's got some other things going on that everybody loves to talk about as well. In terms of his love life, but he's a football guy, and I think he's embracing the new challenge, and I think I'm fascinated by the whole thing. And we were talking pre-episode of all the different styles he was going to face, whether it's TCU in that offense and how they like to play up tempo to start the season, then UCF a couple weeks later, then Clemson, and it's all fascinating, and it's definitely going to be must-watch TV, even more so than Davion and Colorado were their first year.
Well, I mean, first time ever college football coach in your 70s.
I've never seen anything like this.
That's what I'm saying. I've been watching the game. I'm trying to think of one. I was like, maybe Jack Pardee, but I think he was in his late 50s at the time. But I don't think. Well, what I find awesome about college football, and I know Belichick is a lifer. I heard him say like he always wanted to coach in college. He had a desire to do it just because his dad was a coach at Navy and at this fine institution of North Carolina. This is what's great. This is the Belichick family tree. All of these guys. So he's got both his sons on the staff. You see to the right, youtube.com/the college experience. His dad is far to the left. His godfather, Bill Edwards, right next to him right there. I mean, how cool is this, man? The fact that you get to go to the same stadium that your whole damn family and now your kids are going to be able to, and maybe even your grandkids. You know what I mean? Like, this is awesome. You're talking about like 100 years of Belichick family history with the University of North Carolina.
Yeah,
I think that's so cool. College football is the greatest, and I'm just intrigued to see how this works out. Now,
look at Steve's picture.
oh yeah, man, he's a Navy guy. He ain't putting up with your bullshit. You know what I mean? Let's go.
And another note to the families, Michael Lombardi, his GM that was on VEASAN all these years, his son is on the staff as well. So it's kind of a family thing down there.
It's awesome. I mean, how do you not love that? Like, and by the way, I got a chance to sit down or stand, like I said, stand up and interview Coach Belichick here briefly. But I wanted to ask him about how it was having his whole family there, but also I want North Carolina Navy on the schedule. If you didn't know, Bill's dad coached at Navy for like 40 years or 30 some years. I think that game would be awesome. Make it happen, athletic director. But here's that clip.
Yes, there's definitely preparation. Left in the green.
How you doing, Coach? Kobe Dant, College Football Experience. Can you tell us what it means to have your kids on the staff at a place where your dad coached at? And is there any chance in the future of maybe a Navy game?
Yeah, we'll let Steve and Bubba, take a look at that. But yeah, that'd be tough. But yeah, no, it's great to have your, Brian and Steven on the staff. They've been, not only great coaches for me, but been a big help in terms of just organization and I'd say keep me in checking some things that that they've noticed through the years that now for some reason I'm starting to do a little bit differently, and why are we doing that? And probably because I screwed it up. So
you getting flashbacks from when you were a kid?
It's a little too early for me to remember. I just remember the stories that they told from when my mom and dad were here with Bill Edwards, who was also on the staff. He was my godfather, and of course my dad coached Bill coming here for 3 years. So there's a connection all the way back to the Golden. And so yeah, a few. Wish I could say I remembered it better. One stretch.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, first off, we need that North Carolina Navy game. And you saw him say that would be, you could see his eyes light up a little bit about the thought of that, but then he thought, ooh, that would be tough. Because he's never faced off against a triple option team. Let's see it happen. All right. But yeah, man, how great is that with the staff, with all the family ties there? And then look, and I found this from the 1953 North Carolina yearbook, right? I mean, how great is that? Or media guide, not yearbook, media guide. How great is that, man? They go through, his dad played halfback with the Detroit Lions, right? It's just a cool clip that just talks about, where he came from and him and Bill Edwards and everything. Fantastic stuff, man. I found that and I was like, oh, this is cool as hell. Freddie Kitchens is the OC. I remember
on the staff.
What's that?
It's a who's who on the staff. Freddie Kitchens. I mean, that's a name from the past too, baby.
I remember him playing quarterback at Alabama in the 90s, but also I know he was the Cleveland Browns head coach, which is always a terrible thing to be. Even Belichick will attest to that. I'm joking, but look, one thing I do like right here is this. Freddie Kitchens was the interim head coach last season when Mac Brown was relieved of his duties. He was also the North Carolina tight ends coach and run game coordinator. So he was already knowing this roster. I mean, some of this roster, there's a lot of turnover. He also coached at Glenville State, which I think you might find appropriate, but he inherits the offense that was, I don't even know if inherit is the right word there. He takes over an offense that he was heavily involved in. 44th in scoring offense, 72nd in passing offense, 38th in rush offense, charting at a top 50 offense, 48th in total offense, Mac. They return Brad Johnson's son at quarterback, Max Johnson, wide receiver Kobe Paysour, and 3 of 5 on the offensive line. And yeah, like I said, Max Johnson. Now he did start week 1, and then I believe he blew an ACL. This is a guy that has 47 touchdowns, 13 interceptions in his career. Now he was at LSU and A&M prior, but last year he was at Carolina. And after week 1, during that game against Minnesota, he got out for the season. So I'm not sure when he'll be back or if he's fully healthy now. I think that's a question to consider. They did go out in the portal, and I'm very excited about this. And they landed, have you driven a Gio Lopez lately? And look, Gio Lopez coming in from South Alabama. If you watched this show last year, he was a darling of ours at South Alabama. And not only can the guy pass, he can run the ball. Look at this highlight there. Look, he's running the ball there. Look, he's very capable of running the ball. He's a dual threat quarterback. I really like this get. I'm assuming he's starting, but Max Johnson gives them depth at the quarterback spot. But have you driven a Gio Lopez lately? Is a baller. Look at his stats from a season ago, and that's actually a real photo of him. 22 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. As a, I believe he was a redshirt freshman last year. Perhaps a sophomore, one of the two. Yeah. I really like that get, man. And I know Davion Gause, I think, will be the running back. Making an assumption there. They went to the portal, man, and holy shit. Gio Lopez comes in. Benjamin Hall from Michigan at the running back spot also comes in. Receivers: Adrian Wilson from Colorado, Aziah Johnson from Michigan State, Jason Robinson from Washington, following Steve Belichick over. Dayton Sneed from Tennessee, Nathan Laycock from Purdue, Jordan Owens at the tight end spot from Oklahoma State, Connor Cox, a tight end from South Carolina, Shamar Easter, a tight end from Arkansas. Wait, I think, did I fuck up another page here? I think there's a different, he went out on the O-line and got a slew too. Give me a second here. But man, what do you expect of this offense with so many new faces, even though they still have Freddie Kitchens? So it's weird. It's like part of you is like, hey, this is continuity.
Yeah.
But then part of you is like, well, there's like 4 players back with that. So is it even continuity?
It's I guess semi continuity, just because the returners on the offensive line. But I mean, Gio Lopez, the lefty, he was great last year at South Alabama in his redshirt freshman year. 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, mobile, dual threat guy. And they added just a bunch of guys that haven't really produced a lot at the high major level, but were highly recruited coming out of high schools. I mean, the kid from Colorado, the receiver, Adrian Wilson, he just didn't have a chance to play because Colorado was loaded at the receiver position. But I liked some of the guys and some of the bodies that they were able to add in the portal at the skill positions.
Yeah, and then I found the slide for the offensive lineman. Bringing in, hey, Rich Rod, there you go. Will Osteen from Jacksonville State. They won the Conference USA last year. Jordan Hall from UAB and Trent Dilfer. The modern game does not impress me. Chad Lindbergh from Rice. Miles McVay from Alabama. Daniel King from Troy. Christo Kelly from fucking Holy Cross. And Ja'Kai Moore from South Carolina. Man, there's a lot of different faces here, man. But this is part of the fun of I like Gio Lopez, and I think the dual threat capability and the fact they do return 3 of 5 on the O-line, whether they start or not. I think that's the big question: is will they start? But I'm buying in that the offense, I think, might be a little bit ahead of schedule from what we thought, or from what I think people think. The narrative that I think a lot of publications have been pushing. Defensively, one thing, let me talk about Steve Belichick. I was very impressed with what he did at Washington last year. Mm-hmm. I was a little shaky on that. Steve Belichick did a great job at Washington last year. So he's inheriting a defense last year. Jeff Collins was running the Carolina defense. Now he's at South Carolina, by the way, Jeff Collins. Scoring defense, 89th. Pass defense, 80th. Rush defense, 66th. Total defense, 72nd. But man, the Belichicks are all over this. You got Brian and Steve coaching ball. They only have 2 returning starters. Marcus Allen at the corner spot. I've always liked his game. Safety Caleb Koss, and then your punter Magnus is back. Tom Magnus. They went to the portal. They brought in a couple Penn State defensive ends in Smith Vilbert and Joseph Mapoyi. They brought in a Delaware transfer in Abu Jawad. I don't know how to pronounce his names. CJ Mims from ECU, you stinking two-timing. He's a beast, though. Honestly, CJ Mims is a good player. I think he can contribute. Isaiah Johnson from Arizona, DeAndre Robinson from Florida, and Price Yates from UConn. That's just on the D line. In the linebacking and secondary core, Kamari House from Washington, following Coach Belichick over. He knows the system. Andrew Simpson, I got a chance to interview him at Mountain West Media Days last season. He was a beast at Boise State. Makai Bayer there from Missouri. Tamir Hickman Collins from Florida State. Jonathan Ugmadu from Oklahoma State and Coach Gundy there. Those are all linebackers. In the secondary, Thaddeus Dixon from Washington. Also Peyton Waters from Washington. So those are two nice gets because I think they're going to know the system. Kristen Dunbar Hawkins from UCLA. Coleman Bryson from Minnesota. Gavin Gibson from ECU. You two-timing. That's a good get, man. He was a good player for ECU.
Yeah.
Mac. I think the defense is going to be way better than 72nd. I think I'm going to go ahead and say this. I think this will be a top 40 defense.
Well, yeah, because the schedule is soft.
Oh yeah.
But I'm with you. I mean, Belichick, that was his first. Steven Belichick, that was his first defensive coordinator job last year. Without
impressive. Impressive, man.
I thought he did a good job for Fish out there at Washington. And now he brings over multiple guys from that defense. I think that they hit the ground running, and obviously Belichick teams, if you watch them over the years, they're going to be good defensively. That's his bread and butter. And they're going to be better throughout the year. So I think the defense is going to be the strength of the team. I think this is going to be a defensive team and then a solid offensive lineman group on the other side. So basically, it's just the way Belichick wants to play football: defense and control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll be better in both areas, which means they should be, having a decent season here, folks. Look, we're going to talk more about North Carolina and their football program coming up, but before I do that, I want to let you know that the College Football Experience is brought to you by us. We are a part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and the Sports Gambling Podcast is back with their 32-team NFL preview series. They're also bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode, they'll give out one word of a 32-word phrase. Submit the phrase for a chance to win $1,000 circa future, folks. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Look, Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million for first place. Look, there's no waiver wire. There's no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football, folks. Also, Underdog is a great place to play Pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times the amount of money you enter. So what are you doing? Get over to UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up. But when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits there. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Yes, MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including all those summer sports. Ever had a grand on the Calgary Stampeders on a Friday night in mid-July, early August? Yeah, happens to me. MLB, betting MLB. What else we got? Golf. I think I told you this before. I was scrambling to try to find when the racing, the Baja 3000 or whatever the hell it is. I got someone told me I had a lead on the Baja 3000 and I was trying to figure out A, when is it? B, how to find it. Yeah. Besides going to Mexico, which is always a strong offer. But those are these summer sports, man. They kick ass. All right. Golf, tennis, it's the dog. But then check us out. College football futures. How about that? MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations as well. You can easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head on over to MyBookie.ag. And when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. Of course, that's MyBookie.ag. Promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back talking Chapel Bill. I got my Chapel Bill t-shirt on. I'm ready for the season. Cannot wait to watch this experiment here in Chapel Hill. We talk about state of the program, Mac. And part of state of the program is, say, going all in on football, which we'll talk about in a second here, but also stadium. And the fact is, Keenan Memorial Stadium is absolutely fucking gorgeous. If you haven't seen it, 98 years young. That's why every damn Belichick that's ever been in America, I feel like, has coached there. This place is pretty fucking beautiful, if I may say so. I have been here, and I will be back there week 1. It's a nice stadium, man. And one of the things I love about Belichick, I should have found this tweet for the show, was when he tweeted right when he got the job, we're bringing back grass because they were using artificial turf before. We're bringing back grass to Keenan Memorial Stadium. Football should always be played outdoors and on grass. Great tweet. Couldn't agree more. They always claim player safety, which is such a cockamamie excuse when like 38% of the injuries happen at a higher rate on turf. But glad to see Belichick. He brought in the grass. He also is returning the hedges. At least on the tweet, he said that, which they used to have these fire hedges, man. But this stadium is pretty damn beautiful. Even I think NC Nick, who's a Duke fan, says he's like, this shit is pretty fire. Mac, what are you giving Keenan Memorial Stadium?
I'll give it a 9 as well. Seats, I think 52,000. It's beautiful, and I think that they're gonna keep pumping some money into this. I mean, with the way that they're paying Belichick, paying their NIL, you got to think that they're gonna keep investing in this stadium too. And it fits Chapel Hill.
Those are the hedges there. I don't know if that is an old. I'm assuming that's an old photo, but I don't know because maybe they're back. He said they were bringing them back. I just don't know when this photo was. Yeah, it's a phenomenal stadium, man. That's what's so great, man. You're playing. Look at that shit, dude. Yeah, that's college football right there. That's fire. Get yourself out to a game. They got obviously boom, lights up blue. The whole. What's the there's a bar there, top of the hill. Go to the top of the hill. You get loaded. Enjoy some football. This stadium is beautiful. This is way better than the Carolina Panthers bullshit. You know what I mean? Absolutely way better than that. Get yourself out to a game. Look at that back in the day too. That's what I'm saying, dude. You're playing at the same place. Lawrence Taylor. How many great Carolina players? They produced so many great players over the years. You got to get out to a game, folks. I don't care if you live in Beijing, you should go. You should be going. You should be, hey, I come into RDU, 20 minutes away. Look at that. You got shrubbery outside of the stadium. I think those are just trees. Do trees qualify as shrubbery? I don't know that that's a. Clark in the chat, can you find out if trees qualify as shrubbery? Anyway, the stadium is phenomenal. It's going to be fucking rocking this year, dude. I love the fact they're finally going all in on football. Let's go. Oh, and look what's already been there, man. The greatest defensive player in NFL history, maybe the greatest player in NFL history, Lawrence Taylor, who obviously Belichick has ties with him with the New York Giants, but also he's already been visiting. Let's go. Look at the stadium back in the day too. That's a beautiful stadium, dude. That's the best. College football is the best. Anyway, a state of the program though, Mac. I think all these things matter. The fact that they're going in with some crazy NIL amount. It was like 20 million or something. I forget of what he initially asked for. I remember back when he got hired in December, we read what he was like asking for, like not for him, but for his roster. And it was a ridiculous amount that they had never thrown money in there like this. So I love it, man. I'm very excited about the future of North Carolina football. And I think it's honestly, I know there's rumblings about them in the SEC and stuff, but this could be the saving grace of the ACC in a way. Like if Carolina goes all in, and Florida State and SMU is going all in, but if Florida State and Miami can get their shit together with Clemson already having their shit together, you're starting to see Georgia Tech come up too, and Louisville, and like that might be able to save that conference, man, long term, because Carolina should be awesome at football. So when it comes to state of the program, I'm giving it an 8 of 10 right now. The only thing missing are the dominant years, and I think those could be on deck. How about you?
Yep, cosign. They increased their NIL budget from $4 million to $20 million, so they 5 times as much resources.
One call to Jordan on the golf course after a few Molsons, right?
Jordan and LT got it done. So yeah, I mean you bring in the all-time winningest football coach in the NFL with 7 Lombardis or 8 Lombardis, how many trophies he's got, and you got the resources. So yeah, now we just need to see them pump out some 10+ win seasons.
Well, let's talk about that, because week 1, Labor Day, the only college football game on that day for some strange reason. The TCU Horned Frogs, and poor Sonny Dykes gets to play this mystery game. He did it against Davion, having no idea what the hell they were going to look like. But at least that was at home. Now he's got to go cross country to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, in a series that goes back to 1940. I mean, I think so. My first reaction on this was TCU is going to win this fucking game, right?
Mm-hmm.
The more I thought about it of late, going to ACC Media Days, talking to him, and I know Belichick, he doesn't give you much. Like, there's 2 different press conferences. That was one that I was at. There was another one. And he is confident with his team, I think, being good. I just think Kendall Briles' offense, it's the veer and shoot. I am so intrigued to see the greatest defensive mind. But one thing about Belichick, I remember what Mike Leach told me once when I asked him, why didn't you go to the NFL? Everyone's running your offense now. And he said, it bores me. He's like, Cliff Kingsbury isn't even a head coach. This is when he was with the Cardinals. He was like, he doesn't hire his DC, he doesn't hire his special teams. Cliff's my guy, but it's like you're a glorified head coach. And he was like, and everyone's running the same offense, the same defense for the most part. He was like, back in the 80s, it was different. The NFL actually, you had innovation. You had teams doing the run and shoot, teams doing the West Coast offense, teams doing this. Well, Bill Belichick was in the NFL in the 80s and the 70s. So I do think he might have a leg up on this. Giving him 6 months to prepare for the veer and shoot, or 8 months, I think UNC is going to beat him. I think UNC, unless Sonny Dykes and Kendall Briles get to work knowing that he's going to know that and come up with some creative different stuff, I'm going to be at this game, dude. Chapel Bill's getting a dub, 1-0. What are you doing here?
So we did TCU. I took TCU. I'm going to stay with TCU. I think they do have the better roster. They definitely have the better quarterback, or just more proven at this level. I know Gio Lopez is good, but Hoover is arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the whole country. So I'll stick with TCU. Another note with Belichick teams, they usually started slow in New England. He used those first 3 to 4 games to see what he had, and then they were playing their best ball in October, November when it got cold. So I think he starts 0-1, but I can't wait to watch this game. Monday Night Football, baby.
I took TCU in the TCU preview, but I just think, I don't know that the NFL comparison, I get it, like starting slow, but like TCU's running a very simple offense that I just wonder if he can, cause problems with that and then make them feel uncomfortable. Fascinating. That's probably the most fascinating week 1 matchup, to be honest. And there's a lot of matchups I want to see. I'm very fascinated with that game. That's why I'm going to it. So I'm going to flip. I'm Benedicting. Give me Carolina 1-0. Then they head to the Clit. Take on Tim Albin. I wanted it to be Biff Poggi so bad, but Tim Albin, hell of a good coach. Jerry Richardson Stadium. I mean, this place will probably be rocking with Charlotte fans, but I just can't see Albin doing it in game 2. So give me Carolina to be 2-0.
Yeah, I got Carolina winning this game. I can't believe they're playing at Charlotte. I mean, I think Duke played there a couple years ago, and
Duke lost.
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
that was Elko's team, right?
Yeah, I think so,
Yeah,
or maybe it was last year at Cutcliffe.
Yeah. I know it's only game 2 for Albans, but be careful, Carolina. Just the history of these Power 5 teams going to G5s on the road. It's those environments are usually hornets' nest. But I'll go with Belichick 1-1. And it's short prep. It's a short prep week. I mean, they play Monday night and then have to play on Saturday.
That's true. That is true. But Tim Albin's a new. That's why I wish there was wasn't a first year coach.
Yeah.
But week 3, the Richmond Spiders come to town. A series that goes back to the 1890s. Love the regionality here. Richmond joining the Patriot League this year. This is another win. Wouldn't it be hilarious if Richmond beat them though? But give me 3-0.
Nothing like shitting on the team that we're doing the preview and say, "Oh, it'd be hilarious if they lost an FCS."
It would be. Just imagine them like beating TCU. It's like the number 1 storyline, and then a good FCS like Richmond comes in there and shocks you. 3-0.
2-1 for me.
Then they make a trip to the moon bounce to take on the very golden UCF Knights. Scott Frost was drafted by Bill Belichick.
That's hilarious.
Played safety for I think a few years there for Bill Belichick with the New York Jets. Oh, this game's interesting, man.
UCF's off a bye week.
Give me UCF. Give me UCF here.
I think I'm going to take the Knights as well. I think it's a toss-up game. I'll go with the home team. That place is going to be on fire.
It's going to be on fire, dude.
For Belichick off a bye week? Oh, my God. This could be a primetime game.
That's where you wonder, like Gio Lopez, like with all due respect, I'm a big, have you driven a Gio Lopez fan lately? But I don't know that he's played in an environment like this. Actually, no, he played at LSU last year, right? And I don't think he did that good. Yeah. But still, it's a tough game. I mean, because UCF's kind of a mystery team, dude.
Uh-huh.
They lost a ton. I can see Carolina winning this too, but I just think the environment. Give me. I'll stick to UCF. 3-1.
I'm going UCF 2-2.
Then they get a bye week. They come out of the bye week and they're hosting the Clemson Tigers. At ACC Media Days, Daba was praising Bill Belichick. Fascinating game. This place is going to burn down, dude, if they win this game. Can you imagine if he's 4-0 and they beat UCF? This is a top 25 matchup and they beat Clemson. The fucking place will burn down. I mean, I have to take Clemson, but I am intrigued because Clemson definitely struggled a lot more last year. Now I know Tom Allen, I think, is a great hire, but they haven't been at that elite level yet in the past couple of years. So I'll take Clemson, but I'm very intrigued with this game. What are you doing here?
I think I have to take Clemson, but Clemson has struggled and they've struggled in Chapel Hill before. They just have too much, I think, for turning production, and they're also off a bye week. So I'll go Clemson. I do have them starting 2-3, and then everybody's going to be shitting on Belichick.
Well, you get another bye week. And I actually think normally I would complain about 2 bye weeks, but I think it does make a little bit of sense because you're going to Berkeley, California. Dude, had they not gotten a bye week and gone straight to Berkeley, I'd be all over but taking Cal. But they're going to be out there probably 7-8 days before this. Give me Carolina to score an upset here.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Tar Heels off another bye week. I think Belichick getting the 2 bye weeks here, he's going to have his defense playing good football at this point of the year. So I hate that they got to go, 7 games in 7 weeks to end the season because of this weird bye structure.
Well, when you see the 7 opponents, it's not as bad. It's not so daunting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got him right there at 4-2. 4-2. Then the Wahoos of Virginia and Tony Elliott coming to town, the oldest rivalry in the South. I'd say this: Patty C's put me onto this. Virginia always gives them more than they bargained for.
Yes.
Coming back from California too, I'm still taking Carolina, but I'll take the points in UVA for sure. What are you doing here?
Didn't Virginia win as like a 24-point underdog?
They always fuck with them, dude. Patty C put me onto this, and like for 8 years now, I've been like closely watching these games. These games are always, the dog is always live in these games. Yeah.
4-3 for me with Belichick.
Then they come out of that and they head to the filthy Carrier Dome. Take on Fran Brown, my boy.
Halloween.
I could see Fran Brown pulling the upset here.
Friday night.
Gosh, this place will be rocking. I just don't know how good the team is.
Yeah.
All right, give me one for the Qs.
God, it's gonna be Friday night at the Dome, Halloween night. That place is gonna be cool. The problem with Carolina and just Belichick, they're gonna get everybody's best shot too because it's Belichick. And, I'm gonna go North Carolina. I think that they're gonna get a big road win here. So give me 5-3.
We're both at 5-3. Then Frank Wright comes to town. He should be familiar with Keenan Memorial. He played there back when he was in the ACC with Maryland. All over Carolina here. What are you going here?
Yeah, Belichick owned Wright when he was with the Colts. He's going to own him here. 6-3.
Then a trip right up the road to Winston-Salem. 7-3. This could be a game, though. I will say this.
Yeah.
Give me Carolina, though. 7-3.
7-3 for me as well. This game.
Then one of the greatest rivalries. Some say the greatest rivalry on earth, like on the screen there. Duke, Carolina. Who did I say on the Duke preview? I think I took Duke, didn't I?
I think we both took Duke, but I kind of want a Benedict.
I'll take Duke. I know wasn't Belichick, didn't he say his first words were beat Duke?
Yeah.
To his dad. His first words as a child was beat Duke. This game's gonna be awesome. I'll take Duke. I'm sticking to mine.
They were up 20 last year, if I'm not
lost. Yeah, that game was insane.
Give me a 6 straight win. I'm flipping here. Hey, there you go. On the Duke preview, I took Duke. On Carolina, I'm taking Carolina. Playing both sides of Tobacco Road. Carolina, and man, this could have some juice for the ACC title race here.
Yeah. And then a trip to Carter Finley Stadium to take on the Pussy Pack. I have them beating the Pussy Pack at Carter Finley Stadium, and I have Dave Doran perhaps leaving Raleigh, North Carolina. Dude, I have them winning this, so I mean, shit. What puts me at what? Syracuse, Clemson, UCF, Duke, 8-4. And I don't even feel very good about the Syracuse game. The schedule's genius, by the way. What are you doing in this game?
I think they're going to beat NC State too. I got them finishing the year winning their final 7 after the bye weeks and finishing 9-3, and that's with 2 non-con losses. I think they might get to Charlotte.
Yeah, hold on. We're going to have to talk about this. We're going to look at the schedule from a bird's eye point of view. But before we do that, I want the good people to know that the College Football Experience North Carolina Tar Heel Chapel Bill Edition is brought to you by Circa Millions and Circa Survivor. Yes, the world's greatest sports book, Circa Las Vegas, is hosting the world's biggest pro football contest. Circa Millions, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo with over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true DJ if you're not competing in Circa's football contest. What are you doing, folks? Come hang out with the Sports Gambling Podcast guys at the Circa Contest Weekend, August 21st to August 23rd. And yeah, we'll be out there too. The College Football Experience be doing live shows from Circa covering week 0 college football. I'm sure there'll be some Chapel Bill talk as well. Live shows, open bars, plus you get 15% off your stay at the Circa with the promo code SGP15. You're welcome. The contests are open for everyone too. Sign up in Nevada. You can play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use the promo code SGP to get $50 off those proxy fees. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm continues to crush it with power trends, essentially the best of what their house model has to offer. These are AI detected patterns where Rhythm's model is consistently won as a very high ROI. I think like a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm and Rhythm only. No touts, no noise, just clean data back bets, baby. MLB power trends are crushing it too. A lot of unders on batter hit props that are collectively hitting at a 70% rate. Fading players is profitable, folks. The WNBA power trend since All-Star break, 27-16 on those power trends with a 23.36% ROI. They are cooking. Nice little bankroll builder for football season right around the corner. Download the Rhythm app, check out power trends, and start betting smarter. You know damn well we will be. We're also brought to you by Candor Spirits. I mean, look, have you ever had green tea shot? Oh, they're pretty fire. And these are even better. These are delicious, ready to drink canned cocktails. No carbs, no gluten, no sugar, low carbonation, 7.5% alcohol too. Woo! American made, pure panty dropper too. Candor Spirits available right now in the state of Nevada and Arizona, California, Hawaii, coming in the rest of the country. So if you're out in Vegas, you're going to Circa, grab yourself Candor Spirits and get spiritual. All right, we are back. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this here, man. Because the win total 7.5. If you asked me this 2 months ago, I was thinking, man, I got to go under. But the more I thought about the schedule, the more I was thought about Belichick. Like the schedule, I think is maybe the most genius schedule in all of Power 4 football. I know there's the argument about Wake Forest's schedule, and we got our Wake Forest preview scheduled soon, but they're plus 100,000 to win the Natty. They're plus 4,600 to win the ACC. They're plus 1,500 to make the CFP. I want to see. Let me just hop on over, but Mac, do you know what their odds are to get to the championship game? I think DK has that up right now. I'm trying to find it right now. I thought I saw this up on DK, but maybe I'm mistaken. Oh no, to make the title game. Here we go.
12-1.
Oh my gosh. Hear me out here. Why this schedule is genius. You get 8 months to prep for the veer and shoot, which is known as kind of an easier offense. You have the greatest defensive mind probably in the history of pro football. 8 months to prep for the veer and shoot with TCU week 1. You get an FCS Richmond before you have to go with the speed option attack that Scott Frost will use sometimes. I'm assuming he's using it again at UCF. We haven't done our UCF preview yet. You get a bye week before Clemson. You get a bye week before going at Cal. Okay, maybe the Syracuse game they drop. I don't think Syracuse is going to be that good this year. I think they'll be a 5 or 6 win team. You're hosting Duke. You have 2 road trips right around the North Carolina area. 3 road trips. At Charlotte, at Wake Forest, at NC State. I mean, this schedule's fucking brilliant. And I'll tell you this, man, like if you asked a random coach, who would you want on your schedule within the ACC this year? Because you got an 8-game schedule. I think if you had to go with 8 teams, you would say Wake Forest, Stanford, Cal, Syracuse, Virginia. And then I think it would probably be Virginia Tech or NC State. All those teams are on the fucking schedule.
Yes.
Maybe Boston College. I don't know. But the only ones that you probably don't want on the schedule are Clemson and Duke. But you're hosting both of them. This schedule is brilliant. Shout out to Cody Fraser in the chat. Clemson, the only for sure loss. I don't even have it as a for sure loss because you get a week ahead of time, and it's in Chapel Hill. And let's be honest, Dabo over the past couple years, even though he's got Clemson to the playoffs last year, they've been iffy on the road a little bit.
Yeah, they should have got picked off multiple times last year.
This is a great schedule, man. Like, they could go to the fucking playoffs. Like, for a team that you look at the roster and you're kind of like, I don't know, but there is a path. There is a path, man. The only game that I know they're right now 3-point dogs against TCU. I don't know that they should be 3-point dogs. I mean, I think TCU is better, but if they were playing week 3, I would take TCU. But the fact you're giving the greatest defensive mind that much time, I don't know that I agree with that. They're 3-point favorites. What games will they be dogs in besides TCU? Clemson, right?
Clemson, yeah. And then, I mean, they have so many toss-up games on this. Like at UCF, I think is a true toss-up.
But what if UCF sucks? Like UCF lost a shit ton of guys in the portal. I heard Scott Frost at Media Day say they have like 60 new players. So I have no idea if UCF is going to be any good.
And to your point about Clemson, the last time Clemson went to Carolina Chapel Hill was Trevor Lawrence's last year, the undefeated team, and they won by 1 point. It was their closest game the entire year. They played with fire a lot on the road last year. They're getting a lot of hype, Clemson, because of all the returning production, but they could have lost a lot more games than they did last year. I'm with you. I don't even think Clemson's a for sure loss. The ceiling is high for this team.
We've previewed how many of these teams? TCU, Cal,
Duke.
That's it. Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, just off the top of my mind, like top of my head right now, how many of these teams do you project with a winning record? Clemson and TCU. With TCU preview, I had them 6-6.
Cal, we both had. Did we both have?
Cal was 6-6 for us.
They like you said, they missed.
I have Duke with a winning record.
You go to the odds right now. Clemson's the favorite, but after that, Miami, SMU, Louisville, Georgia Tech. They Pitt. They Florida State.
BC probably gonna be a bowl team this year.
Yeah, Florida State. They missed them all. I mean, they gave Belichick a hell of a schedule. And that's why I think the 12-1 to make the college football, or not the college, but the ACC title game is on the table.
I definitely think it's on the table. Like, even if they lose to, let's say the ACC games, if they lose to the 2 best teams on the schedule, Clemson and Duke, they still could get in. I mean, we've seen teams with 3 losses in the ACC championship.
Yep. They just need to. They got to win. They got to split that Clemson and Duke. I mean, the Duke game's a toss-up in my opinion. It's a rivalry game.
Fair. It's in Chapel Hill. Both those are in Chapel Hill. All they have to do is win one of those, and not trip up at Cal or Syracuse. Because even if they did lose to NC State with 2 losses, they'd be in.
Yep.
This is going to be fascinating to watch. I'm on the over. No strong conviction. So the ceiling is what? We do this for every team. Is the ceiling really 11-1?
Yeah, I think so. They paid $20 million for this roster. They have dudes on this roster, and the schedule is Cupcake City.
So what's the floor then? Because I could also see them losing to TCU, losing to UCF, losing to Clemson, losing to Cal, losing to Syracuse, losing to Duke, losing to NC State. I mean, 4-8, 5-7.
Yeah. What are the for sure wins? Charlotte, Richmond, Stanford, and Wake.
Yeah. I don't even know that.
And Wake's on the road.
Yeah, it's a rivalry game too. So it's like
4-8.
Yeah. This is going to be fascinating. Most interesting team to watch in college football. I think everyone knows that. Folks, we will be back tomorrow. Let us know your thoughts on Carolina and Chapel Bill, because I think it's fantastic. I think it's captivating. I'm so glad to see him in college football. So, yeah, I will be at a lot of those games too. I'm going to go to a bunch. I'm probably going to go to that Clemson game too. Tomorrow we will have the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, as well as the Sam Houston State Bearcats and the Maryland Terrapins. Shout out to Frank Wright, former Terrapin great. Those are the next three on the schedule. We're previewing all 136. We've been doing this since June 1st. So yeah, go check out all those episodes. Check out all the interviews. Hey, and by the way, at youtube.com/the college experience is our hub for college baseball experience, college football experience, college basketball experience. But it's also so youtube.com/the college experience. Hit that like and subscribe, but also check out the podcast feed, iTunes and Spotify, because all of those coaching interviews that I did, majority of these ones did not have video. So those are audio only episodes. So if you're just subscribed on YouTube, you're going to say, what the hell? I didn't know Dundee sat down with this coach or this coach or this coach. Those are all on iTunes and Spotify and going to be coming out. So check that out. Folks, appreciate you tuning in. I can't wait to watch this season. Enjoy the slideshow honoring the history of North Carolina football in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Get out to a game at Keenan Memorial Stadium. You're going to love it. This is the college football experience, North Carolina Tar Heel style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Mailbox 170. Let's get
1.
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart. My body and soul are nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. My body and soul are nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. My body and soul are nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. We're the obsession to be a part of that, started that. Mind over matter don't matter in the market. I've seen much smarter cats have heart attacks, largely because leaders need lambs to be lethargic. Match wits with the half-wit phantom. I don't need jumper cables or mic cords to analyze an analytical anthem. Between my two ears, an engine pumping the life force. Force field for your grip on the grievance. Still gonna feel unchallenged and bored stiff. So arrange the pieces to appear cohesive. All the hard work will go largely ignored if your hands are covered with post-its and paper cuts. You need to have your voice in the vice grip. The one who made it famous ain't the one who made it up. You don't get overtime just for working the night shift. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart. Mind, body, and soul are nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. Mind, body, and soul are nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. Mind, body, and soul are nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Every time I close my eyes, I'm taken to the same place, a playing field, and every contestant's got the game face. Everybody's yelling, you ought to play it safe. Make sure them shoes are tied and ankles taped. Shake the cobweb, hit the ground running. This is how cunning I can get with the footwork. You're doing it right, well, it shouldn't hurt. Flirt with greatness, still I run the famous. Nice high heels, I got mics for spikes. Trampling the home team and the turf for life. For the few fleet of foot, too fast for me. I fear none, cause I run and ignore the pair of feet by the tree that are fast asleep. In love with the game, you adore the hair. I believe in achievement. My soul isn't rewarded just cause it's easy goal and moves toward it. I'm not not saying I'm impossible to outsmart. Mind, body, and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. Mind, body, and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to out